my personal point of view is that it created itself.
The universe created itself, but that's an irrational position. So I believe that universe created itself rather than believing that there's a creator, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, well, I think the
an eternal creator.
Prove that every scientist. I'll go with Stephen Hawking reckons that the universe created itself.
But that's irrational, though.
If there's a God, I mean, it's just another way of calling. It's just another name for the universe, really.
The universe came into existence.
You could say it's the embodiment of God.
The thing is, you said that the universe created itself, but that's irrational. Because
How is it irrational?
can a mother give birth to herself?
Who gave birth to herself?
Can a mother give birth to herself?
No, but I mean...
So that makes no sense.
No, but
this table cannot bring itself into existence, yes?
No, but listen.
So Stephen Hawking's, whoever you're talking about, says something irrational.
Yeah.
Because if the universe has a beginning, yes, well, would you agree?
There was a big bang, right?
Okay, where did it come from?
It's still the echoes in the far reaches of the universe with the sophisticated technology they got, right? Let's give it, for argument's sake, let's assume that's true. Right, what created the Big Bang? Assuming that was the very first thing, assuming it was the very first thing that kicked off
Something has to create the universe, because
the
universe, in terms of cosmology, the universe had a beginning, right? The universe came into existence from a singularity point, yes?
Yeah.
So universe cannot come from nothing. Because 0 plus 0 is what? Nothing, right? So universe cannot bring itself into... universe cannot come from nothing. Yes, universe...
How it done that is a mystery.
We're saying that you have to...
And it stands to reason that there must be a creator of it. Well,
there must be a creator, because that makes no sense that...
Okay.
Because there has to be a sufficient explanation.
So whatever it was probably invisible.
A being. We all say the Quran tells us
there's absolute nothingness before the universe. You know, there's no mind, imagination, no solid matter, no plant, vegetable, mineral, nothing. There's absolute nothingness. You can't imagine what absolute nothing is like. When you try to imagine it, you're imagining
it doesn't exist in reality.
No, you can't imagine absolute
nothingness. It doesn't exist.
No. So you can't imagine absolute
something has to always exist eternally. Something has to always exist to bring everything else into existence.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this universe, it might be according to science, this universe is in the Middle Age. It's about 13.8 billion years old.
Yes.
It's got about the same distance in time to last, another 13.8 billion years. And then it collapses in on itself, I presume.
Well, that's a theory, right?
Swallowed up by a black hole by
the big crunch, right? The point that we're making, number one, the universe cannot come from nothing.
Yeah.
Universe cannot bring itself into existence.
No.
That's irrational.
Well, it's done it once before, isn't it?
There's no evidence. That is irrational.
Again, and then the whole process might
well,
start
why do you?
again.
So you rather believe that universe?
Universes before this going back.
But there's no evidence for that.
Zeros of naught.
There's no evidence for that.
You know, no one
don't let people.
Anything.
The thing is, don't let. There has to be evidence. Okay, the only evidence that we have in the 1980s, Edwin Hubble, he saw the planets moving away from each other and the background radiation. So they deduced the universe has a beginning, right? Multiverse theory. There's no evidence for that. These are ideas, but there's no evidence for that, right?
Yeah.
So we know that the inference to the best explanation is that the universe had a beginning, right?
Yeah.
If the universe had a beginning and it came into existence, we will say it has been created. Anything that begins to exist has been created. Yes, it cannot, because it cannot just pop into existence from nothingness. Let me give you my. It cannot evolve.
If there's a skill, but I think
something cannot evolve from nothingness.
What the point is it doesn't.
That is chemically. We're talking about biology.
Is there something called God?
Can your jacket come from nothing, or can your jacket pop into existence? No, right?
Really.
So why do you believe? Why do you believe? If you're something simple like your jacket cannot just pop into existence by looking at your jacket, I know that something has created that has willpower and knowledge, right? I would affirm a creator for your jacket. I don't need to see the one that created the jacket or to know that it has been created, or the process that it has been created in. Yes. So we will say, what's more complex, your jacket or the universe?
Oh, it's obvious, isn't it? It goes without
Universe.
saying,
Yeah. So therefore, you have to be consistent in your reasoning and say the universe has a creator because it's complex and organized.
It may have a creator, but right, when we get there, if it had a creator, if we establish the truth about that once and for all, concrete proof that there was a creator,
Yes.
what if there was a...
But what's your evidence that there's no creator?
There's not a God.
But what's your evidence for that?
Just trying to leave the conclusion to oneself, as it were. Well, it matters. I think it's up to ourselves to believe whether there's a God or not.
No, there has to be evidence. Reasoning is an evidence, right?
It's a point. It's absolutely what's going on about, because the universe is it. My personal point of view is that it created itself.
The universe created itself, but that's an irrational position. So I believe that universe created itself rather than believing that there's a creator, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, well, I think the
an eternal creator.
We're in the middle of that creation, and this is as far as you can imagine, and it's expanding at the speed of light, which is about 147,000.
I agree with you, but there's the creator of the universe. But you're trying to say the universe created itself. That makes no sense.
Oh, in the very, very, very beginning. Yeah.
You want chocolate?
Let me see. The very beginning.
So why do you believe
There was the Big
why would
Bang,
it be
right?
something nonsensical like universe created itself?
Over and over it again.
So let me tell you about Islam, yes? So we believe that Allah, this supreme being, and
Allah. Who was Allah? He's not
a
another
supreme
name for
being.
Jesus, is it?
No, Jesus is a prophet.
All the Jesus was another human being. All that bullshit about reincarnation. I just don't believe that.
We're not Hindu, so we don't believe in reincarnation, but we believe in the Abrahamic religions.
The
We will
tribe
say,
there,
so we will say, if you allow me to explain, yes?
Yeah.
Because we're saying that there's a creator, Allah, right? Allah is one. There's one supreme being that existed before the universe.
A mere mortal gave that person that name, remember?
Now we have revelation,
You know,
reasoning dictates, and revelation dictates.
The Bible was written by a mere mortal, a human being just like you and me, and we're a very eloquent one, and but nevertheless still only a mere mortal, just like the writer of that. You know, they're in the same league. Whoever
It
created,
was the author of the Quran is Allah. The ones that penned it down were the disciples of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So
who was
it
Allah?
is.
It's just like Jesus was saying.
The thing is, if you ask me a question, you should allow me to respond. Yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth. Yeah. So the Quran is the word of Allah, right? That Allah revealed to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam via the angel Gabriel. So it's his literal word. Yes. So the author. Sorry, no, an angel gave the Quran to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
This is all a product of someone's imagination. It may go back thousands of years, but nevertheless, it's all conceived in someone's mind, isn't it?
I'm giving you.
It's like the Bible.
Okay, so now you're just like conflating all religions. If you allow me to explain, you have preconceived ideas, and if you haven't thought about these ideas, you've just been taught those ideas from other people. So the point that I'm making is that the Quran is a revelation from the Creator. Yes. So if the universe came into existence, then there has to be something that always existed to bring it into existence. It has to have a will.
It seems to be simple
Let me
logic,
explain.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. It makes more sense than what you're saying.
Tell you that.
But why are you being?
What happens
Let
in
me
nature,
finish.
it doesn't always seem to be derived from simple logic.
Yeah. So why are you being irrational? Though? You're being a little bit irrational when it comes to God.
Now we're down that point, we're not being irrational. We're not being irrational.
Yeah, you're saying the universe created itself. But let me tell you about Islam, because I really want to talk to you about Islam and why we believe the Quran. Islam is the truth, yes?
What is the truth?
Islam is the truth, why,
If
yes?
you think so.
So,
If you believe so, why not?
so the Creator, Allah, is one. Let me teach you about Islam. The Creator, Allah, is one supreme, unique being, yes? Is not a man or a woman, okay? Is eternal, has no parents, has no children, okay? Eternally exists, always existed, has no beginning, has no end, right? Created the universe for a purpose and for a reason.
13.8 billion years ago, according to scientists. going back to the Big Bang. Before that,
As
there's
an
something
approximation.
you can't imagine. You can't imagine absolute
No, you
nothing.
cannot. Yeah.
Isn't that good saying?
Yes.
What's it-
Therefore, there has
you
to be
know,
something. That's the point.
If you're trying to imagine what absolute nothing is,
It's
like
not
you imagine
magic.
something.
Something always has to eternally exist. It cannot be magic. Atheists saying that it's magic, right? Then, by necessity, this creator has to tell us why we exist.
You've got, this is something
Because
I've
why
often
do you
wondered.
exist?
Why did it? Rather than how did it happen, why did it happen?
Why did
are
the
we
creator?
here?
Yes. Why do you exist? Yes. What happens after you die? And morality. What's
Yeah.
right and wrong? Yes.
Yeah.
Because these are.
Personally, I think we are here to have a good time. But when if you go back right to cavemen days, it was
But that's
hunter-gatherers,
subjective.
they were enjoying themselves. They were picking berries
It's
up,
for pleasure.
hunting
So you're worshipping the idea of pleasure.
antelopes and things, and living on the plains after they'd left the trees, something about 1 million years ago or something like that, 1.5 million years ago. That's evolved over millions of years before them. It's obvious we've evolved from apes.
So
Because you've got
what's
to go
the
to
evidence
London
for
Zoo
that?
to find